In the 7th century Arabian desert, long before the invention of the printing press, a highly complex oral message was delivered in scattered fragments. Today, 1400 years later, that exact message survives as one of the most precisely preserved texts in human history. The Arabic root of the word Quran, qira'a, literally translates to he read or he recited. By definition, its primary native format is sound, not physical ink on paper. Over a period of 23 years, these audio revelations were delivered to a single man, adapting to specific situations, conflicts, and questions as they occurred in real time. This complex data map shows the massive scale of that final compiled information. From a single starting point, it fractures into 114 major chapter blocks, which then cascade down into a network of over 6,000 distinct verses. By organizing this data into a specific, non-linear system, the text was built to resist the degradation that usually destroys oral traditions over centuries. Historical literature almost always follows a chronological timeline. The Quran abandons that approach entirely. This bar chart visualization shows the overarching organizational principle of the book. Instead of a chronological sequence, the 114 chapters, called surahs, form a descending staircase, generally ordered by length from the longest at the beginning to the shortest at the end. The microscopic building block of these chapters is the ayah, or verse. The word translates directly to a sign or evidence. By stripping away the familiar structure of chronological storytelling, this descending architecture forces the reader to focus directly on overarching thematic principles rather than following a linear plot. The text is defined by a deep geographic and chronological split, the Meccan surahs and the Medinan surahs. The chapters revealed during the early years in Mecca deal with the existential. They focus on foundational theology, the mechanics of the afterlife, and maintaining faith while the early Muslims faced severe persecution. Following the migration to Medina, the thematic structure shifts. These later chapters introduce legislation, societal rules, ethics, and methods for community governance. Tracking this geographic divide reveals a sociological blueprint. It documents the exact evolution of the early Muslims as they transitioned from a marginalized philosophical movement into an organized, functioning state. To protect this data, early Muslims utilized hifz, a system of strict memorization. They effectively turned human minds into biological hard drives to back up the oral text. They simultaneously maintained a physical backup system. During the Prophet's lifetime, scribes recorded fragments of the verses on available materials like palm leaves, parchment, and bone. Following his death, caliphs organized a standardization effort, compiling scattered physical fragments into a singular master ledger. As the empire expanded to non-Arab populations, the text required a technological upgrade. Scribes added vocalization marks to prevent foreign speakers from mispronouncing the exact audio record. Locking simultaneous mass memorization against a standardized physical master copy created a remarkably secure, unhackable data preservation system. Beyond its historical preservation, the text actively engages the physical world. It issues frequent commands for human beings to investigate nature and study their surroundings. Researchers frequently point to correlations between these verses and modern science, highlighting accurate descriptions of natural processes, such as human embryology, centuries before microscopes existed. On a behavioral level, it establishes a pragmatic psychological framework. It details methods for cognitive discipline, breaking destructive habits, and enforcing social tolerance. Even with its focus on law and science, the text serves as the foundational grammar for classical Arabic, merging strict administrative rules with a highly stylized literary form. Ultimately, the Quran's internal architecture created a rare result, a 7th century message that remains identical in both sound and script today.